Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I am by myself, which is very atypical. Usually I'm with my wife out doing this. It's been a while since I've gone on a rant or a little pep talk or whatever you call it. I know there are a handful of people who have emailed me and told me that they really appreciate some of the things I've said about, hustling and grinding. Some people just love the tips I give. Some people just think we're fun to watch. Regardless of why you're subscribed to the channel, this is something that's been on my mind for a couple days now, and just listen to all these. Today's January 19th, by the way, day before the inauguration of the new president. So this has been on my mind for a little bit. I've heard a lot of people whining about, the current president, and a lot of people whining about what's going to happen with the new president. I don't know a lot of things, but what I do know is I can't look back and see that anyone that's been in office has drastically altered my ability to work hard. Maybe some things might affect me, tax laws or whatever, but I can assure you, as sure as you're watching this video, that the $1,400, the $600 you got from the current president, the $1,400 you're going to get from the next administration, it will not change your life if you do not work hard. Like, nothing is going to change your life if you don't change your mentality. And it took me a long time to get to the point where I realized that I was in control of my life, that I stopped blaming other people for my circumstances. I grew up in a kind of just regular middle-class neighborhood. I went to a middle school in a really wealthy part of Sacramento because my parents wanted me on the track system instead of on a traditional system. And if you're not familiar with that, it's okay. So I went to this middle school where all the kids were rich, and those kids were my friends. Ended up going to a different high school, the rich high school. Well, I went to the I don't know if you call it the poor high school, but the high school that had Future Farmers of America at it, and this, that, and the other. Okay, all those kids, when they turned 16, they got Mercedes and cool cars. I drove a 1987 primer-colored Camry that was handed down from my parents. And, I thought about, when I was younger, I really thought that life was really unfair. And guess what? I was right. I was right. Life is extremely unfair, and the best part about it is no one's coming to save you. Like, there's not a button that you press that makes it more fair. And the second you realize that you're in control of where you cannot control where you start. It's just not a thing. You're not in control of where you start, but you are in control of what you do with the time you have. So I'm not sure if any of you guys are football fans. If you watched Brady's game the other day, Brady and Drew Brees. And, I was rooting for Brady for the first time in my life. I've rooted against the Patriots my whole life. And I found myself rooting for Tom Brady. And it was so fascinating. As I was watching the game, I just felt like, you know what? Tom Brady's going to win. Their team's going to win. And, a lot of people might argue, well, that's because he has the better receivers. And, the backup running back on Saints was hurt. The backup quarterback, Taysom Hill, was hurt for the Saints. And, the only reason Brady won is because Brees had a couple balls that were tipped to turn into interceptions, and Jared Cook fumbled the ball over the middle, tight end for the Saints, and the Bucs didn't turn the ball over. It's like, well, you know what? That's not luck. Brady didn't put it in a position for the ball to be intercepted at any point in the game, and so they didn't turn the ball over. And guess what? Brady's team ended up winning. And there's just a mentality that I've watched certain people have. Certain people just have a mentality that no matter what's happening around them, is they're in control of what the outcome's going to be. So, being from Sacramento, I'm a huge Sacramento Kings fan. And it's caused me a lot of grief and a lot of anguish over the years. There's something about Sacramento that I feel is true for just about everyone who's from there. If you're from Sacramento, leave me a comment. Let me know if you feel this way. That people are just kind of content with mediocrity. It doesn't just translate to the Kings not making the playoffs. They have the longest playoff drought in the NBA. I think second longest in all of sports behind the Seattle Mariners. That we just kind of accept mediocrity from our politicians, from our sports teams, and just in life. Like, people are just okay being mediocre. Something that I heard Paul Pierce say when the big three came to the Celtics, Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett came to the Celtics, and he told them that the atmosphere in Boston was different. The court's the same size. They're playing in front of in the same arenas all throughout the year. But something special about playing for the Boston Celtics is they don't hang banners for winning your division for the year or winning a first round of the playoffs like they might in Sacramento, right? Boston expects championships, and that is an expectation, and thus it raises your play and your awareness to another level, recognizing that this is the expectation. You're expected to win. Being mediocre is not acceptable like it is other places. And so, you know, I thought about this, and, you know, a lot of people are going to have opinions. I really don't. I actually, you know, am interested in politics. I pride myself on being pretty impartial and pretty independent. But I'm confident that if Chuck E. Cheese were the president of the United States and he put tariffs on provolone cheese and Parmesan cheese, well, guess what? It made it hard for me to get those cheeses. Well, I'm just going to have to get some cheddar then. Nothing's going to stop me from getting cheese just because someone in power is, or, you know, could be a leader or just someone in your sphere of influences that's preventing you from getting to where you want to be. That is in your control. I promise you that. You got to find a way. So right now it is 7:57. I just felt like doing one trip just because I'm out here. It's been a while since I've actually even got a trip came through. I had Outback Steakhouse come through, and it's like $13 for 12 miles. I'm just going to do one trip and make a little cheese myself. But guys, the purpose of this video is for one reason and one reason only, to inspire you to change your mentality. Somebody gifting you $2,000 is not going to change your work ethic. I promise you, it's not going to change your work ethic. That comes from here. That comes from understanding what your goals are, understanding where you want to be, and not accepting mediocrity like you may have in the past, like maybe I have in the past. And so that's my message tonight. All right, we got our first and probably only order tonight because we're really not out dashing. I got other things that I'm trying to accomplish right now. But I can't stress this enough, that losers make excuses and winners make it happen. I love sports, and I just can't tell you how many times growing up watching the Sacramento Kings, I don't care who the players are, I don't care who the coach is, I don't care who the general manager is. There's something about the last 5 minutes of a game. We could be up 10, tied, down 2, and I know that it's either going to be a really close game or the Kings are going to lose. And I don't know, you know, it's a mentality. Some teams, some players just have a gear where they just decide we're going to win. And as a Kings fan, you always make excuses. Well, the ref blew this call, this happened, this shouldn't have been done. Wow, that guy got lucky on that shot. All these things, but at the end of the day, you know, you extrapolate this data out and you see this happen time and time and time and time again. You realize that it's not luck, it's not the refs, it's you putting yourself in a position to succeed. And I could say this as a very biased Kings fan. We're a losing team, and so there's always an excuse that feels good to the person, that feels good to the team, that person on the team that took the shot or that, you know, had the call miss. There's always some excuse that feels true for them. And at some point, you got to look yourself in the face and say, I'm the reason why I'm not doing as well as I could. I'm the reason. No one's putting me in this position. Yeah, I may have started behind. Yeah, we might, you know, and just focusing on basketball, yeah, we might be one of the smallest markets, and great players don't really want to come here because when they make a ton of money in California with no endorsement offers playing in Sacramento, they get taxed really high, higher than if they play in Houston or Miami or somewhere else. And so it's harder for us to get the top guys to come there. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Every year you get a top draft pick. How come you're not drafting an all-star? How come you're not drafting a future Hall of Famer? You know, and at some point you got to look yourself in the mirror. Now, not focusing on sports anymore. Looking at number one, look at yourself in the mirror. And this is a new year. You know, people are finally going to be in a position where if they liked the current president, they got to make a decision how they're gonna deal with life under the new president. If they didn't like the current president, they're not going to be able to make the same excuses that, well, it's because this person's the president that my life sucks. Listen, I promise you, you are in control of your life. Stop making excuses for the things that you're not personally doing. There's always going to be people are always going to have an unfair advantage over you because their daddy works for the company, or because their brother knows somebody higher up in the company, and it's happened to me. I've watched it happen in my own life at the job that I'm at. People get into places they shouldn't get to because they know the right people. Listen, understand how the game works. Understand the rules. Don't break the rules. Understand how the rules work and apply them to best give yourself an advantage. And that's all you have to do. I promise if you keep grinding, you keep working hard, things are going to work out in your favor. I believe in God very strongly. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. And I know that God doesn't need my help to bring about miracles, but he sure likes effort. He sure likes effort a whole dang lot. I've seen that a lot in my life, that sometimes it's a little bit of effort that seems extremely minuscule and inconsequential that makes all the difference, and suddenly doors start opening up for me. And God lets me know there's no other way that it could have happened except for him. No other way except for him. And I love that so much. Hold on, let me get this order real quick. Hey there, I just have a DoorDash for a Violet. The last three are 664. All right, thanks so much. Hey, just in line at the drive-thru. I'll be on my way as soon as I get to the front. You and Elon Musk, the new richest man in the world, both have 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with your 24 hours? You have a choice how long you want to sleep. You have a choice how long you want to eat. You have a choice if you want to work out. You have a choice if you want to spend your disposable time playing video games or working on your craft and grinding on a passion outside of your job. You have a choice if you want to hustle and pick up a side gig that helps you build an income stream in your spare time. No one else can make that choice for you. And guess what? You also have the choice to complain about why things are the way they are. You have a choice to learn about how finances work and how money works and how investing works and how to protect your money, to fend off inflation. You have that ability. No one can take that away from you. And we live in a time where excuses are becoming harder and harder to empathize with, because all the information on how to be successful is basically free on YouTube. All you have to do is allocate your time to it. And I've found that just putting things on 2x speed has helped me to digest so much more information and save time. Even when you're watching my videos, I encourage you, unless I'm talking too fast, you put it on 1.5. Put your videos on 2x speed and digest more information in less amount of time. If you can't understand somebody's talking too fast, lower it down to 1.5. That way you use your time better. Everyone has the same amount of time. What are you spending your time on? Are you using it to the best of your advantage? And you can go back to some of my videos where I talk about how to best use the one gift you have when you're door dashing is your time. How to best use your time so you can make the most amount of money. Those skills and those principles apply to all aspects of life. Every last aspect of life can be boiled down to what are you doing with your time. People make time for the things that are important to them. Hey there, it's Violet 664.
Oh, Violet 664.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you for having a good night.
You have a wonderful night. I'm doing this because I really care, because I recognize that I'm in control of my life. Maybe it helps me be accountable to me too. But I promise you, opportunity awaits, and losers make excuses, winners make it happen. My brother wins everything. He wins freaking everything, and I hate it. But you know what my brother also does? He also enters everything. He enters every free thing you can get. He'll enter it. Every contest, every drawing, every raffle, he'll enter it. And so he ends up winning a lot of stuff because the law of averages is in his favor. And a lot of people think it's lucky, but the harder you work, the luckier you get. I know there's a lot of maxims thrown all into one, but I just want you to know, I can't stress this enough, that 2021 is an opportunity for you to reset, turn off the negativity that's going on in the world, turn off the negativity that's going on in your life, the bad habits that you have right now. That you have you solely can change that, but it doesn't happen by getting a check in the mail, and it doesn't happen by feeling sorry for yourself. It happens because you work hard and you keep mastering your craft. Whatever you are good at, master that craft. Whatever you think can get you over the hump, master that craft instead of spending your time, playing video games and feeling bad for yourself. And my rant's coming to an end, I promise. I was just out running errands. I had to go to the post office. I ended up going to Dollar Tree to get some envelopes. And on the way home, I was able to do a dash. It took about 7 minutes of my time. It was pretty much on my route. I made $7.25 out while I was running errands. So that's not much. Power of residuals. Anyways, guys, sorry for the long rant. I hope you appreciate this video. If there are, if I spouted out 10 different things and 9 of them didn't help you, but 1 did, cast the 9 away and use the one little bit of information that might be helpful to you to help propel you to success this year. Stop making excuses, make it happen. Okay, whoever your idol is, watch how they handle pressure. I promise you it's probably different than the way you're doing it. So, as always, guys, to your success, God bless. Have a great day.